It's on Zoom. So Hillary signed in. It's on Zoom. So I will be up here. You can watch me, watch Erin. She knows what she's doing too.
But you will be fine. Okay, well, explain everything. So everyone has a ball and weights. So initially. Okay, and we will start. Service today. Did Drew set that up?
I know, I'm excited to do that, but I'm gonna go try it.
That's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Whatever works best. Participants. We're good. Okay, and is the volume on? I think it is. Jenny and Hillary. Perfect. Okay, guys.
So start with your squishy ball. You're gonna have it between your inner thighs. Is the air blowing on you?
Yeah.
I know there's some chilly spots. Move wherever you need to go. And then start with your squishy ball between your inner thighs. Have your weights and you will use those. But whatever is best. I mean, you can like turn your head and see that way, but you do step and flexion, so this is fine too. Whatever works. I'm gonna be the sit up. So feet just about hip distance apart, maybe a little closer. Make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips. We're gonna start with our arms. So we're just gonna grab our weights, reach our arms right up to the ceiling, and take a couple of breaths there. So feeling that your arm bones are heavy against the mat, so those shoulder blades are kind of heavy. Collarbones are nice and wide in front of your body. And then we're just gonna start opening our arms wide. So as you open your arms out, feel that nice sense of openness, feel that pull from fingertip to fingertip as you open, and then control, just bring those arms back up to the ceiling. So as your arms open, don't just let the weights or gravity just drop your arms down and then press them back up. Really feel the work as you're opening and as you're pressing up. Okay, your shoulder blades are flat against the mat. You're gonna start to think about what your spine is doing as your arms move here in just a sec. So you're gonna go one more, just arms opening out. Arms will press back up. Now let's think about our ribs. So as you open your arms out, do your ribs open, or are you able to keep your ribs hugging around your center? So think of your ribs being in a corset, keep that corset nice and tight. Feel the back of your rib cage stay nice and heavy. No arching and letting those ribs go. Keep the back of that rib cage connected with the mat. Keep going with these arms. We're going to move down through our body even more. So think about your pelvis now. So is your pelvis tipping away from you? Is it tipping towards you? You want to be in neutral. So let that tail be a little bit heavy without having a huge space in your lumbar spine. So you want a little space, but you don't want to be arching. You don't want to be tipping back. Just that little neutral. We're going to go one more, keeping all of those bits together. So shoulder blades flat, ribs tight around your center. Pelvis is nice and neutral. Now, as you press your arms up, this time give your inner thighs a little squeeze. We're going to go arms again, nice and wide. Inner thighs can release. As you press your arms back up, give those inner thighs a little squeeze. So now, as you're squeezing your inner thighs, does anything else change in your pelvis? Do you squeeze your glutes and rock your pelvis back, or are you just isolating those inner thighs? That's what we want to do. Stability through your center, your arms are moving, those inner thighs are squeezing and moving. Two more like this. Exhale, press up. And then one more, we're reaching fingertips from fingertips. Squeeze those inner thighs, press those arms up, and then stay. Now from here, you're gonna press into your heels and lift your hips up. So now knees are reaching away from the top of your head. Your pelvis is still neutral, so you haven't tipped, rocked, still neutral. Ribs are still tight around your center. Now this time, as you roll down, let's reach our arms overhead. So ribs still tight around your center. Roll all the way down, back to neutral, arms back up. So you're not gonna roll up, you're just gonna press into your heels, give your inner thighs a little squeeze as you lift, reach those arms overhead, and then roll all the way back. You're neutral, arms up. Let's do that again. Press through your heels, lift. Arms overhead. Lowering one vertebrae at a time, and arms back up. Okay. Last couple like that. Exhale, press through those heels. Arms reach, rolling all the way. Arms back up, and one more like this. Press through those heels, lift right up. Arms overhead, and then slowly let's roll all the way down. Back to neutral, arms back up to the ceiling. Good, okay, now let's lower those arms down. Keep the ball where it is. Get rid of your weights, bring your hands behind your head. So still in neutral, right? So you have that tiny space behind your low back, not tipping back, not rocking away. Ribs are still tight around your center. Your arms, your hands are behind your head, and your head is heavy in those hands. Let's tuck our chin in just that little bit, and then exhale as you come up to flexion. So when you're up here, take a little breath. You're looking towards your ball, so you're really curling forward. Your pelvis is still neutral, so just take a peek, make sure you're not like that. You're not like that. Your ribs are tight around your center and nice and close towards your hip bones. So your ribs kind of move down towards your hip bones. Take a breath here and then slowly come all the way down. Your head is still heavy in your hands. Take a breath and then do that again. So tuck that chin. As you come up, take a breath here and then exhale as you come down as well. You're working all the way down until your head touches. And then do that again. Exhale up. Have a pause here. Inhale. And then exhale, lengthening all the way down. I'm thinking about reaching the top of my head from my toes as I come down. All the way. Last couple. Tuck. Inhale. Exhale. Melting down. Pelvis stays nice and still. And one more. Tuck that chin. Slow and controlled exhale all the way back. Okay, now we're going to come up and stay up. So tuck that chin, curl up, hold here. All right, so again, no gripping your glutes. You've got that little space behind your lumbar. Your ribs are nice and tight towards your hip bones. Your head is heavy in your hands, right? And we let go our head and reach our arms out. Reach. Then bring your hands behind your head. Take a breath there. Reach. And bring your hands back behind your head. Go for 3 more like that. As you reach, try to squeeze your inner thighs a little bit. And then back. Go for 2. Reach. And back. And then 1 more. Let's exhale, reaching out. Bring those hands back behind your head. Keep those inner thighs gently squeezing. Come all the way down. Take a breath. And relax. Fall to the side. Hands by your side as well. Okay, so ribs stay tight around your center. Let's lift our heels, so we're just on our toes. We're gonna lift our right leg to tabletop, keeping our left hip nice and heavy. So we're gonna start with just our right leg. Reach it away, reach nice and long, and then bring it right back in. Exhale as you reach away. And then inhale, pull back in. So go 4 more like this, keeping your weight even on your hips. Reach. And in. 3 more. Reach. Nice long necks. Looking straight up to the ceiling. 2. Really feel your toes reaching away from the top of your head. Fingertips reach in a second. Reach. And then back in. Now stay. Hands behind your head. Tuck your chin, curl up to flexion. So take a peek down at your pelvis. Is it evenly weighted? Or your left toe is still a little bit light? If you feel your back or this feels like too much work to keep your weight even on your hips, lower your heel down. That's totally fine. Now from here, we're going to reach that right leg out. Stay up with your upper body. Reach your right arm overhead. Now reach it out towards your toes. So you're going to reach, stay curled forward, and then pull back in. As you reach, don't let that pelvis move. Keep even weight from right to left in those hips. You're gonna go 4 more. You can add a little bit more movement with your upper body if you want for your last 4. Reaching back and up. 3, reaching back and up. You got it. 2 and curl. Last one. Let's reach nice and long. All the way up. And you can come back, lower those toes, lower your heels, all the way down. Take a breath. And those hands down by your side. All right, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. So start with your heels lifting, keep your toes that little bit light. Pop your left knee up to tabletop, knee up of your hip. Right hip stays heavy. You're just gonna reach that left knee nice and long. And then pull back in. So really think about what's going on in your body. Your left toes are reaching away from the top of your head right here. You're really finding length to that whole left side. That doesn't mean your right side is shortening, but the left side is really, really, you're exaggerating that length idea. Left toes reach, left waistline is super long, so is your right. Just concentrate on that lefty. 2 more like this. Away. And in, and then 1 more reach out. Back in, stay. Hands behind your head. Tuck your chin, curl up to flexion, stay there. Now you're gonna reach your left leg out, reach your left arm overhead, and then arm back up, leg in. So you can keep your upper body up to start, just stay curled forward, reach, and in right hip stays heavy. Remember, you can lower your right leg at any point. That makes it easier to keep those hips nice and even. 2 more like this, lengthen away. Last one, keep that upper body curling forward and in. Now add a little bit more movement if you want for your last 4. You're reaching, you're lengthening all the way out and you're curling in. 3. And then last 2. And in, last one, all the way. Right back in, lower your left, throw your hand all the way down. And hug those knees and have a little roll around there, guys. One way and the other. Right, and then from there, bring those feet back about hip distance apart. You should still be able to touch your heels with your fingertips, right? We're gonna just keep our arms down for the first set. I'm gonna give you some options with arms, but don't think you need to take all the options, just whatever feels good. So ribs still tight around your center. You're in that neutral, right? So you have that little space behind your low back. We're gonna roll up this time. So think of pressing your lumbar spine down and then press through your heels with those hips nice and high. Holding when you're up there, take a breath. Knees are reaching away from the top of your head. Roll back down, so softening through that spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Come all the way down. Let's do that again, just like that. So belly button in, press that low back down, all the way up. And then slow and controlled, let's roll right back to neutral. Now let's lift our heels up. Even weight through each one of your toes. We're gonna do the same thing. Belly button in, press through your heels, lifting knees, reaching away from the top of your head. As you roll back down, keep those heels lifting all the way, rolling, 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 and down. Do that again. So belly button in. Even weight through those toes. Nice big breath at the top. Again, slowly all the way down. Let's do 1 more like this. Belly button in, press through those heels, lift those hips. Nice big breath, and then slowly roll all the way and back to neutral. You know, grab your ball. It's going to go under your right foot. So right foot is going to stay a little bit light on top of the ball. All I want you to do is just roll that ball away. Nothing else changes in your body. And then you're going to pull that ball back in. So the lighter you keep your right foot on the ball, the more low abs you're going to feel. So instead of your hip flexor just moving your leg in and out, think about how your core is actually doing it. So you're rolling away. Think of little strings in your tummy, pulling that heel back in. And then do that again, reach away. And then come right back in. Now, so I'm going to give you a couple options. You can keep this left foot down. You can lift your left heel, or you can lift your left leg all the way up. Whatever feels good for you, doesn't matter at all. We're going to keep just rolling this right leg away for a few more. Just the right leg's going to move. Keep that weight even, both of those shoulders, even through your ribs. You ready? So if you have your left leg up, we're going to start moving our left leg. If you have your left heel down, just lift your left heel. Just move to the next progression for your last little set. If your left leg is up like me, as you reach your right leg out, keep your left leg still, but as you bend your right leg in, extend your left. So like you're riding a bicycle, reach one, other one bends, and switch. Now think about the weight on your hips. Is it staying even? What about the weight in your shoulders? Should also be even. You've got 3. You've got 2. Keep the back of that neck nice and heavy. Chin stays pulled in gently towards your chest. Last one. And then lower that lefty all the way down, heel, whatever feels good. And then pop that right foot off the ball. Good job, guys. And then pop the ball under your left foot. So remember, if you feel your back or it just doesn't feel good, for whatever reason, just move to the previous progression. So remember, heel down first. You can lift your heel up, and then the last one is your leg all the way up. So start with your heel down again. Feel that even weight to go sides of your spine. Left foot is a little bit light on top of the ball as you roll it away and as you pull back in. Keep those ribs tight around your center, reach out and in. Keep those waistlines long, keep the back of that head heavy, neck stays nice and long, none of this kind of thing. 3 more, just reaching, think about those strings again, holding your left heel back in towards your sit bone. Reach. One more like this. Let's reach. Pull back in. You can lift your right heel if you want. You can lift your right leg all the way. Take whichever progression feels good. Go for a few more. In and out here. Keeping that lefty as light as you can, but keeping your pelvis evenly weighted. Go for 4. 3. We're gonna add the bicycle in 2, or we're gonna add the next progression, whatever feels good. Now let's add that bicycle if you have your leg up, so you're gonna switch and switch. The whole time those low abs are working, keeping that pelvis nice and still. The back of your rib cage stays heavy. Go 4 and switch. 3. Use that breath, keep those ribs hugging around your center. Go for 2. Go 1 more. And then bend that right in, lower all the way. Hug those knees and again, have a little roll around. One way and the other. And then we're gonna go onto our side. You don't need your ball or anything. Just lie on your left side to start. So you're gonna have both legs straight out underneath you. Toes reach away from the top of your head. You can move around so your head is at this end if you want, so you can kind of see them, whatever you want to give them. Whatever feels good. Okay, so toes, hips, ribs, shoulders, back of your head are all in line, right? You want your head to be forward, you want your legs to be forward. We're all nice and lined up. You can keep your right hand in front of you for a little bit of stability. You don't want to put all your weight into your right hand, but it's fine to have it down. Now let's think about our right leg, our top leg. You're going to lift it up to about hip height. So when you're here, feel your toes reaching away from the top of your head. Feel this whole right waistline lengthening. You want to keep that length. Toes constantly reaching away from the top of your head. So if you're not reaching it, it's just kind of like blah, it's just up there. I mean, that's fine, but let's reach because you get that extra bit of engagement, okay? Now your left leg, that left knee needs to point forward. Can we turn our leg a little bit so it points forward? Try and do that. You might need to keep a little bit more weight into your right hand. That's fine. Squeeze that lefty up, hold when you're there, and then lower those legs down together. So not just like bang, let's lift, and then just gradually, slowly lower all the way. Up 1, up 2, slow and controlled, lower down. So you've got right outer glute, right outer thigh, left inner thigh, right obliques, low abs, all working together, right? Up, squeeze, control. Very good, guys. Go 4 more like that. 1, 2, and down. Think about your neck. Are you tensing into your neck? To stay steady, try to keep that head nice and heavy. Use your core for stability. Last one, you're gonna go 1,
2. Now lower both legs just to a hover and then lift them back up. So just a hover and then squeeze them back up. Think about those inner thighs staying connected as you lower and then keep them connected as you lift. And what else is happening? We're reaching, right? Our toes are reaching away from the top of our head as we lower and as you lift, right? Don't let everything just kind of move with gravity. Collapse inward. Keep reaching from your center. Reach as you lift, reach as you lower. 3, those right obliques. If you're really reaching, you're really going to feel those obliques. 2, control. Last one, let's lift up and stay. Now scissor your legs. 1 leg forward, 1 back, just a few inches, and then switch. Little scissor and little scissor. So as you're scissoring your legs, again, nothing else in your body really changes. If your hips are wiggling all around, make your scissors smaller. It doesn't matter at all how big those scissors are. If anyone's feeling super steady or maybe just super ambitious, see if you can bring your right hand onto your right hip. It's not easy. If you feel good there, try and bring your right arm up to the ceiling. So now you got an upward pull. Fingertips are reaching up, toes are reaching from the top of your head. Last 2. Last 1, scissor, bring your bottom leg forward, stay, lift both legs 1 inch, hold, and down an inch. 1 little inch, hold, 1 inch down, don't go too big. Exhale as you lift, abs deepen, and down, keep reaching. And down, go for 4, little lift, control, 3, little lift, and down, last 2. Last 1, squeeze up, legs together, and then lower all the way, lower that arm. Job, guys. Okay, now bend your legs in, so your knees are in line with your hips, your feet are in line with your knees. So a nice 90-degree angle, lying flat on that left arm again. Right hand on your right hip, let's bring that up there. So we wanna try to keep our pelvis stacked, right hip on top of your left. We also wanna try to stay neutral. So remember when we were neutral, we weren't like this, so I don't want you to be on your side like that, right? Keep that nice long waistline, tail is back, even on your side. All right, so now from here, right hand on that hip, right? Lengthen that right waistline a little bit. Keep that hip pulled away. It wants to kind of crunch, right? Stay long, lift that right leg up so you're at about hip height. Hold when you're there, okay? And then just lower back to a hover. So just a hover and then squeeze back up. Pause and then control back down. Up, pause. Inhale, control. So start to think about where you're moving from. Are you moving your foot or your knee, or are you really starting the movement from up here? That's what we want to do. Your right outer glute, that's your glute med, is working as you lift, and then it's still working as you lower, right? You're not just letting your leg collapse. Pause and control. Now feel how your core is working this whole time, right? It's working as you lift. It's working as you lower. And downward, make a 1 more, come up to the top and stay. Now circle your knee around, just small little circles. As you're moving that thigh bone in your hip socket, nothing else in your body changes. If your hips are wiggling all around or your body is changing, maybe your circles are too big. Maybe you're not thinking about your core. Your core is working to keep you steady as this leg circles so that you can maximize that little glute work. 3, 2, last one, pause and go the other way. So again, just those smooth little circles. You don't need to be big. Head is still nice and heavy on that left arm. Go 4, 3, 2, last one. Now you're going to kick out, reach through your heel. Your heel reaches away from the top of your head. Find that nice big breath there, and then control, bring it back in. Here, lift up just 1 time, lower down, and then kick out again. So you're going to press all the way, reach long, and then come back in your waistline. Stay long, go up twice this time. 1, down, 2, down, and then kick all the way out. Reach, bend back in, you're at 90, go for 3, up 1, up 2, up 3, kick all the way out, reach. Ready? You're gonna go for 4. Up 4, up 3, how those waistline's doing, keep them lifting. 2, last 1, kick all the way out. Let's go 5, we're gonna finish here. In for 5, control, 4, abs, 3, last 2, last 1, kick all the way out, and then just bend. Ooh, good job, guys. Okay, so bend your right leg, pop in front of your left, hug behind that left knee. You can stay lying down and just hug that leg in. You can sit up and hinge forward, whatever feels good. Just let that glute have a little stretch out. Good. Guys. Take a couple more nice deep breaths there. Let that have a good little stretch out. Here we go, do the whole thing on the other side. So come down onto your right side, legs straight, so toes reaching away from the top of your head. So really thinking about that reaching as we're working, toes sort of always reaching away from the top of your head, or if your arm is extended away from your fingertips. So that includes waistlines, right? Waistlines are staying long. You're gonna lift your top leg, lift it up just, about hip height. You're gonna squeeze the bottom leg up to meet it. And then you're gonna lower them both together. So it's that up, up, control. And again, up, up, control together. 1, reach, 2, reach, lower back down. So think about everything we were talking about on the other side. I'll go through it again, don't worry. So your right knee, you want to keep it pointing forward. It's going to want to kind of point down. Think about your right ribs staying that little bit lifted off the mat. And then think about your hand, right? You could put a ton of weight into your left arm and kind of find your stability through there. Let's try not to do that. So really find your stability through your core. You lift, you lower back down. Abs, abs, control back down. Go 2 more. Up, up, control right down, and then 1 more. Up, up, control right down, and then lift up to about hip height. Stay when you're there. So really reaching your toes from the top of your head. You're going to scissor your legs. So little scissor one way, little scissor the other way. So as you're scissoring those legs, think about reaching toes again from the top of your head or your fingertips. Keep those waistlines nice and long. Scissor and back. Good. Reaching as you scissor and reaching as you scissor. Right ribs are still gently lifting off the mat, right? Don't let them press down. 3, just a little scissor and back. Go for 2. And back. 1 more. Scissor. And back. And then finish with your bottom leg forward. Stay there. All right, now try and lift your legs 1 little inch and down an inch. So remember your left hand, you can try and bring it onto your left hip. If that feels steady, you can bring that arm up to the ceiling. Whatever feels good. Just make sure that if you're lifting your arm up, you're not compensating with your neck. So you're not pressing that right ear down, or grabbing with your neck for stability. Try and keep it relaxed. Control, go 3 more. Squeeze and down. Last 2, little squeeze and down. Last one, little squeeze up, legs together, and then lower all the way down. Okay, now bend those knees. So knees in line with your hips, tail is back that little bit, nice long waistlines, right ribs stay lifting and tight around your center. Remember you're neutral here. So not tucking this way and then being on our side like that, keeping those long waistlines on your side. That includes your right ribs. They need to stay lifted, right? Knees line with your hips, heels under your knees, lift that top leg up. So hold when you get there, take a nice breath, and then just lower to a hover, feeling that your waistlines are still long, your tail is back that little bit, and control. So that's left glute med. Now you may feel your right as well, it's stabilizing. As you lift, move from up here, top of that thigh bone, kind of where your femur enters your hip socket. Lifting, pause, and control. Abs working the whole time, right? And down, go for 3. And down, go for 2, abs. And down, last one, lifting up, control to that hover, and then lift up and stay. Now circle your leg around. So just thinking about your thigh bone kind of circling in that hip socket, your pelvis is staying pretty still. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then go the other way. Again, just those smooth little circles. Keep those right ribs that little bit lifted. You've got 5, 4, good job, guys. 3, 2, last 1. Now kick all the way out. So reach through that left heel. Reach away from the top of your head. You're going to bend it back in. So just bending in, knee in line with your hip, and then press back up. Reach all the way. Nice long waistlines, right? This time bend in, and then you're going to lift up once, drop it down, and then kick all the way out. Do that again, keeping your body nice and still in. You're going to go up twice. 1 and 2. And then kick all the way out, really reach through that heel. You're ready, we're gonna go in for 3. Slow and controlled waistline, stay long. 3, lower. 2, lower. Last 1, down, press all the way out. Let's go for 4. Slow. 4, 3, 2, last 1. All the way, last set, you're gonna come in for 5. And keep that pelvis nice and still, straight up. 5, straight up. 4, 3, 2, last 1, kick all the way out, and then come back in. And give that left glute a little stretch out. The left foot in front of your right knee. Take a nice couple of breaths there. Try to stay neutral even as you're stretching. So instead of just tucking and pulling everything under, keep those spaces behind your lumbar spine so your tail is heavy. You'll feel a deeper stretch if you do that. For 2 more nice big breaths. And then just bring the soles of your feet together, let your legs just fall open, let those inner thighs have a nice little stretch up there. And then when you're ready, just straighten your legs out underneath you. So straight out, have them about hip distance apart, just a little space between them, really. All right, press your heels down, your feet can just flex comfortably. And then find your neutral again. So upper body is just relaxed back. Your rib cage is heavy, but you have that little space behind your lumbar spine. Pelvis is neutral. Let's reach our arms up to the ceiling. So shoulder blades flat against the mat.
You're gonna reach your arms overhead, ribs don't move, right? Arms overhead, ribs still tight around your center. We're gonna come into roll up. So let's start by just gently pressing our heels into the mat. So keep that connection. You're gonna bring your arms up to the ceiling, tucking your chin, slide your ribs down to your hips as you curl all the way up. Reach out to your toes. You can grab onto your legs. Come up if you want to. Stack up tall and then come back. So as you roll back, roll your pelvis back first. Your ribs come back. Your shoulders come back. Finally, your head comes down. Reach those arms overhead. Keep those heels pressing into the mat. Let's go one more like this and give you some options after this that you can take if you want. Keeping your heels pressed down, reaching. And stack up tall. So the idea is that you're articulating through your spine. So your lowest vertebrae touch down first, all the way up until your head touches. On the way up, it's the opposite, right? So let's come back again, all the way. So rolling, lowest vertebrae touch, one at a time. Instead of just kind of flopping, you're rolling. Okay, so you can keep both heels pressing if you want. We're gonna lift a leg as we come up. So let's start with our right leg. So tuck your chin, curl forward. Our right leg can lift. You can just bring it into a little bend. You'll stay in that little half roll back here. Let's lift our arms up. Bring them down. Do that again. Arms up. And down. One more. Let's go arms up. This time let's start rolling all the way. Nice and controlled. Reaching those toes. So your legs are both down. Arms overhead. Same thing left. So think even weight through both sides of your spine as you come up. Your left leg will lift. You'll stay in that little half roll. Holding there. Let's go arms for 3. Even weight on those hips. Arms for 2. Abs in as you lift. Arms for 1. Keep those arms up as you roll. Even weight through both sides of your spine. Reaching toes from fingertips all the way down. Let's do that again. So we're going to bring our right leg up. Tuck your chin. Right leg up, holding here. This time we're going to reach our right leg. So reach, and then bring it in. Reach, and in one more, reach that leg. Bring it in, and then roll all the way down. Slowly, rolling, reach those arms over. Same thing, left. Really think about that even weight through both sides of your spine. Left knee up, holding there. Arms can reach, shoulders away from your ears. Let's go 3, reaching that left. Let's go 2. And in, let's go one more, reach. Back in and then slow and control. Let's roll all the way. If we want, we're gonna go both legs. You can stick with single legs, you can keep both legs down. If you want to do the next step, it's gonna be both legs up. So rolling all the way, bring those legs up, holding when you're there. Ready? Arms only 3. Abs deep in 2. Abs deep in 1. Start rolling all the way. As you roll, you're going to reach those legs, extend those arms, nice big breath. Ready? One more. Tuck your chin, rolling up whichever version you want. Legs up, holding. Right, are you ready? Move your legs away. Just legs. Couple of inches away, couple of inches in. And in. One more. Reach. Back in, lower your right, lower your left. Come to all 4. So a 4-point kneel, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's do a little cat stretch, get a little movement the opposite way for that spine. So hands pressing down, nice wide fingers, knees under your hips. Find neutral to start so you know where kind of ground 0 is. And then from there, drop your tailbone. So scoop those abs up, rounding through your low back, through your mid back, through your upper back till your head drops. So it's nice and heavy. And then let's go all the way out of it. So letting that tail go all the way. You can come through neutral, so to that little cow, I think you remember this? Cat and cow, that's a kind of, tuck that tail, scoop. Holding here. Take a nice breath, and then again, think about those wide sitting bones. Just letting everything go. One more like that. Drop that tail, scoop. all the way out. Let those ribs just be heavy. Shoulder blades can slide together a little bit there as your head comes up. And then come back to that neutral. So ribs tight around your center, sitting bones are wide, top of your head reaching away from your tailbone. So we'll come back to that in just a sec. We're gonna keep our right leg out behind us. Extend it out behind you, and then let's reach our left fingertips in front of us. So left knee ideally is right on top of your, or left knee is underneath your left hip, ideally. So try not to let your weight shift. You're just gonna tap fingertips and toes down, and then you're gonna lift. So go 5 more like that. Lowering with control, lifting with control. So it would be easy to kind of let your head hang here. Try not to do that at the top of your head. Your left fingertips are reaching away from those right toes and your tailbone. 1 more like this. Let's lift up and stay. Now from here, come back to that cat stretch. Pull that knee underneath you. Bring your left arm back, scoop those abs, and then lengthen all the way back, just to neutral this time, so not that cow. Let's do that again. So tucking that chin, scoop those abs, leg in, arm in, and reach. We've got 4 more like this. And reach. Think about your left inner thigh. Keep it squeezed towards your midline. So your weight could easily shift to the left. Try not to let it for these last couple in. And reach. And then 1 more. Reach all the way out. Bring that left hand in, right knee in, and then sit back to a shell stretch. You can open your knees nice and wide and just go for it. Your wrists a little shake out. And then let's come back up. So we'll do the same on the other side. So hands under those shoulders again, knees underneath your hips. So our weight is going to want to shift to the right. This time we're going to try and keep our right inner thigh squeezed towards our midline. Nice even weight in those hands to start. So kick your left leg out. Lift it up. So reach your toes from the top of your head and then extend that right arm. So we'll just tap and lift. So this whole time we're thinking length, fingertips from toes, waistlines are long. That left elbow has just a teeny little bend in it, so you're not locking it. 3 more like this. Control. Up. Go for 2. Control. And up. 1 more. Lift up. Stay. Now let's come back into that cat. So bend your left knee and your right arm. Scooping, really lifting through your core. And then reach away. Think about that belly button pulling right away from the ground. Scoop it right up. And reach. In with an exhale. And out for 3 more. Each time you extend that arm and leg, think about that length. Reach. 2. And reach. Last one like this. Reach long, bring that hand in, bring that leg in, sit back again for a nice sharp stretch. Okay, got this. Through that, we're gonna come onto our tummies. We're gonna do a little extension. So lie right on down. Okay, so hands just off the mat, so your arms are nice and wide. Elbows about shoulder height. So you're kind of in like a perfect cactus shape there. And then your legs nice and wide as well. So as wide as the mat, you can laterally rotate them, just kind of relax your legs. So when we come to extension, it's really easy to just drop into your low back and kind of jam yourself into this position. That's not what we want to do. Extension is about length. Surprise, surprise. Everything's about length. Length through your spine and just using these upper back extensors. So upper back. It's not even really about your mid back. Think about that upper back. When you're at the height of your extension, you're like somewhere like this. It's not very high. You're still looking down. All right, so let's think about it for a sec. Relax your body, let your head, let your nose kind of just rest on the mat, let your neck relax. Think about your core just relaxing, your ribs are heavy. Now start the movement by thinking about your core. So think belly button just kind of lifting away from the mat that little bit. Tighten up those ribs around your center. And then just lead with your nose and the top of your head as you begin lengthening your spine and lifting just ever so slightly. Again, it's not about height at all. It's about length. So through your cervical and your thoracic spine, so that's your neck, and then just kind of butt between your shoulder blades there. Lifting, holding, and then just slowly melt back down. So do that again. Start with your core, feel that little bit of connection. Think about those ribs tightening up and then lengthen. Feel the top of your head reaching out away from your toes. Take a nice breath. Beautiful, everybody. And then slow and control, lower back down. Now this time as you do it, notice if you're pressing into your arms to just lift from your arms. Don't let your arms do all the work. It's about that upper back, right? Lengthening, lifting, holding at the top, slow, and very good, guys. Next time you come up, let's stay. So holding at the top there. Feel that your ribs are still tight around your center. You're as long as you can possibly be. Top of your head reaching from your toes. Can you lift your elbows a little bit so you're just on your hands? And then can you lift your hands a little bit so you're just on your fingertips? It's okay if you're not quite there yet, you can keep them down. If you can lift your fingertips, can you lift your entire arms? So holding there. If you're on your fingertips, that's fine. If you're up, let's reach our arms forward just a little. As you bring your arms back in, lengthen your spine a little more. So don't think of getting higher, think of lengthening more. Arms reach forward that little bit. Arms pull back in. Lengthen a little more for 2. Go 1 more. Slow and controlled. Reach in. Keep those necks nice and long. And then place those hands back down. Lower all the way. And then press back to a shell stretch again. Good job, you guys. All right, and then when you're ready, coming back up to a 4-point kneel. So hands back under your shoulders, knees back underneath your hips. This time I want you to bring your legs right together. So give your inner thighs a little squeeze. Knees in line with your hips though. So long waistline still. Extra little bit of pressure into your palms. Kind of press the ground away and feel how your shoulder blades widen on your back. So I want you to stay with those wide shoulder blades. You don't want to end up like this. Ton of pressure on those shoulders. Stay connected through those lats and that underarm muscle there as you press your palms into the mat. Now from here, keeping those shoulders neutral as they are now, curl your toes under and give your inner thighs a little bit of a squeeze together. So all I want us to do is lift our knees just maybe an inch. Tiny little lift, holding there. Just notice if you shifted your weight forward. We don't want to do that. You're lifting straight up and then you're going to lower straight back down. That again, let's exhale, abs deepen. Little lift. Inhale, control as your legs lower back. So let's go 2 more like that, just a little lift. Feel how it's your core working to lift. Core is holding you up there. And down. And then 1 more, let's go up. Holding there. Okay, so now take a breath here. Your knees are still hovering. And you extend your right leg out behind you. It's a big tent. You could just stay in that little hover and then bring your right leg back in. Watch that your weight isn't shifting into those hands or isn't shifting forward. And then left back in. We do right again. And back, very good. Keep that pelvis nice and neutral. Left reach. Back in 1 more right. Keep those hands pressing into the mat. All the way in. 1 more left. Bring that leg in. Lower those knees. Sit back again with that shell stretch. You can open your knees out and have a nice stretch there. You can walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Really reach out for your left fingertips, keeping that left hip nice and heavy towards your left heel. Nice. There, and then walk those hands all the way over to the left side of your mat, really reaching up for your right fingertips, keeping your right hip nice and heavy. And then we'll place him back to center. Okay, hands back under your shoulders. Again, knees underneath those hips. This time you're going to kick your right leg out. Really reach your right heel away from the top of your head. Kick your left leg out as well. So you can end up in a little bit of a plank. Top of your head is reaching from your heels. Take a nice big breath. You're going to tuck your chin, scoop those abs, and press back to a downward dog. So walk your feet wherever is comfortable. Keep that tail lifting up to the ceiling. Tail is lifting up. Heels are pressing down. Palms are pressing down. You can walk those feet out. Let's press our right heel down as you bend your left knee. And then switch. Switch. 1 more each way. And then drop both heels nice and low. Lift both nice and high. Both heels down. One more, reach those heels nice. That tail. And then let's lift our right leg up towards the ceiling. Shift your weight into those hands. Bring your right leg in. So you're going to step your right foot down. Be in a lunge. So just hang there for a couple of breaths. You can come up onto those fingertips. You can stay down, whatever feels good. You can bring your left knee down or keep it up. Whatever feels good. Think about that left hip flexor, having a bit of a stretch there. And then we'll bring our left knee down if it's not already. Step your left hand right beside your right foot, and then reach your right hand up to the ceiling. So just having a little twist out there. Right fingertips reach up, left palm presses down. Top of your head is reaching from your tailbone, so you're still nice and long through your spine. And really think about those ribs twisting. So your left ribs are sort of wrapping down and forward as that right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Your right ribs are wrapping up and back, right? And then let's step our right hand back down. Turn your right leg out, so you can just drop your knee down and then come all the way down for a little hip stretch.
2 more nice big breaths there, really letting the weight of your body give that right hip an extra little stretch. And then walk those hands back in, curl those left toes under. Step your right foot back, press back to that downward dog. Tail right up. Walk those feet out again. Drop both heels, lift both nice and high. And then left leg up to the ceiling. Step it in between those hands for that lunge. Knee up, knee down, whatever feels good. Try to keep that left heel under your left knee approximately. Nice couple of breaths. Yay. You can drop your knee down, step your right hand in right beside your left, and then reach your left arm up to the ceiling. So there's a couple different oppositional pulls going on here, right? Your right palm is pressing down, your left arm, left fingertips are reaching up. Think about how your right toes are kind of reaching behind, your left knee is reaching forward. Both of those, and then you've got this rotation, right? So your left ribs are wrapping up and back. Your right ribs are wrapping down and forward slightly. Nice long necks. Remember, just always bringing your gaze down will help to release your neck if that bothers. Yeah. And then let's step that left hand down, turn your left knee out, and then come down to that little hip stretch. So arms can go as far forward as it feels good. Again, just letting the weight of your body get that stretch for you. One more nice big breath there. And then you can walk those hands back in, curl those right toes under, left leg back, and then just press back. Weight back to those heels. You can walk your hands into those toes. Hang in that forward fold, have a little rolled out to those shoulders. Let your head have a little shake out, and then weight back into your heels as you roll all the way. Lovely, everybody. Excellent work.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Hillary and Jenny. Nice to see you guys. Or nice to know you're there. Bye, Jenny. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Bye, Jenny.